Hey y'all, wanted to thank you all for checking out the video. If you all like it, please like and subscribe, and have a great rest of the day and enjoy. Hey y'all, just checking in right now. We are currently on the inside of the South Carolina State House right now. We just finished up the tour, but there's still some people walking around. But I figured I would give you some information on the State House itself. This is the very, very top floor, and this is some of what it looks like. I guess to start, let me give you some basic information on the State House itself. The first State House was actually built in what is now, well, obviously Charleston in the 1750s. And it was actually moved to Columbia in about, I'd like to say, maybe about 1786, I'd like to think. Kind of more as a, well, the exact year I'm unsure of, but it was moved to the middle of the state, more so out of convenience, as you know, the westward expansion in sorts, and Columbia was just happening to be a convenient place for it to go. The first two state houses were actually burned down, whereas the third one, which is what we see now, is made out of marble, stone, granite, and all that stuff, which is actually pretty darn cool, in my opinion, to make it more fireproof. And the present one that we know today originates, I'd like to say, like the 1850s. And they, as I mentioned, they kind of wanted something that was a little bit more fireproof and to hold the records, all the important records and stuff. And it wasn't until, this part, I forgot the exact year, gosh darn it, but General Sherman's invasion from the Civil War, I think it was like the year of 1865, actually slowed the construction and caused significant damage. Firing cannonballs into the building, and they actually burned like a third of the actual area, of Columbia. And thankfully some things were spared, but other things weren't. And the structure that they were using at the time being, while this was being constructed, was also burned. But anyways, it was, pretty much at that point, it was just the walls and I'd like to say the foundation were complete, and at that time. But unfortunately, the plans and the plans were also burned and all that too, and that whole ordeal, unfortunately. But anyways, after the State House was burned down, one that they were using, they had to meet at South Carolina State University, for a few years, until a temporary roof was added again. But from 1867 to 1880, like the 1880s, not much was actually done, not too much, other than to make it functional. But from a little bit of research that I did, from 1885 to 1895, most of the details inside were completed. Obviously, as of recently, there were some details that were, there was obviously some renovation since then. But I think that 1907, was when they really stopped doing stuff, but it wasn't until recently that they had done some updates on it. The steps and dome were completed in 1907. Now, one cool fact that I actually learned from the tour was that a lot of the material for the actual State House was actually locally sourced, except for the marble flooring, which they had to get from Georgia and some of the neighboring areas. Now, excuse me as I'm going downstairs. There's people down there, obviously. Try to stay out of the way. Now, a pretty cool fact is this is the side where the South Carolina Senate meets. Unfortunately, the door is closed, unfortunately, so we can't go inside. But in lieu of that, we can probably see some pictures downstairs of it. But
how many of y'all saw the dome from the outside of the building?
anyways, oh, and another cool little fact is that this is actually the law library for the State House, where they often use the books and sorts. But now this is the side where the House members meet. Sorry if it's a little blurry. But anyways, you'll see some green lights, or what appear to be green lights, like right there and stuff on each of the desks here. Those are some buttons right there that they use to vote yay or nay and all that stuff on all the bills that are going through. Now the upstairs area, from how it was described to me, was that those are just for, I think that visitors or something could stay up here, something like that. But anywho, unfortunately that's closed too, so we can't go inside. So another interesting fact is that the gentleman here in this picture, gosh, last time I was here I knew his name, but I forgot it. But this is the actual architect of the one who drew up the plans for the State House. And this picture right there is the Battle of Cowpens. This one I'm very unsure of, but nonetheless, let me go down a little bit further. Now, as I had mentioned a little bit earlier, the granite floor, or the marble floors here, are the only thing that was not locally sourced. The white marble specifically is marble from Georgia, from how it was described to me. Now that side over there is where the I think that this side right here is where the lieutenant governor is, and that side is where the governor sits. Now these pilings here were actually also locally sourced, and the bricks, everything here is all original. They actually, I forgot what year it was, but it was relatively speaking, these are relatively recently painted white to make the room a little bit lighter, which I find pretty interesting. Not allowed to go down that way, unfortunately. But in any case, just the architecture that was put into this building was quite astronomical, or quite expensive, to put it. In other words, but anyways, hope that you enjoyed the inside tour. Hope that you enjoyed. Hey y'all, I'm back again. Just got to the outside of the State House. I'm gonna do a slight external tour of the building. This is the front of the State House, as you all can see right here. Have a good old statue of Washington there. Now something cool about the exterior is that you'll actually be able to see some stars on the outside, and you're gonna probably sit there and wonder what each of those stars represents and stuff. Hello, sir. Now each of those stars represents where a cannonball had hit into the building. Now supposedly a total of 10 had done damage to the building, but only 6 hit the outside. That's how the tour guide described it, but I probably should have asked them how that works out. But anyways, we're actually coming up on a star right now as to where the one of the cannonballs hit. If you look closely, zoom in a little bit, that's actually where one of the cannonballs had gone in and hit the building. So there's about a total of 6 of those surrounding the building. Now, another cool fact is that, and we have we have 2 stars right here actually. There's a second one there. Now a cool fact is that maybe within 60 or within, so it could be a total of 20, 30, 40, but they're estimating that it was about a total of 60 yards from this side of the building to where the second State House was built. The first one was obviously in Charleston, but the second State House was built maybe within this proximity here, approximately. But in any case, that's the alleged story as to how far away it was. But anyways, as I said, I sure hope that you all enjoyed this tour and of the State House. We're gonna have some more information coming out later. We're gonna have a second video, kind of a short video, maybe, hopefully. We'll see how that goes, but it'll be based off of the South Carolina State Museum. That'll come next. Well, anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed and have a great rest of the day. Bye.